I know writing's a big passion of yours. What advice would you give to an aspiring writer?
It sounds stupid, but it's very important, and that is to write. What happens very often when people start to write is they have an idea, they have a scene in their mind, and they begin to write, and they write maybe a full chapter, and they think this is pretty good. And then they start the second chapter, and at some point they get stuck, completely stuck. How do I bring this person out of that room? How do I bring in new people? Why? Where's it going now? Where does hell? And they forget about it and they put it away for a day.
So the frustration.
And then they look at it a few days later and think, oh, it's not as good as I remember it. Oh, I don't know, it's hopeless, I'm not a writer. That's the mistake, is that they stopped. Keep writing even if it's shit. Just keep writing, because books are made of words, nothing else. Keep writing the words. Imagine it's like making a sculpture. You don't, let's say Michelangelo's David, he didn't start by doing the toe of the left foot and making it perfect. I've got that perfect, oh, that toe's good now. Now I'll do the next toe. He had the whole thing in rough and then started chipping away and chipping away. That's what you have to do with your book. Just write it down. It's a load of old rubbish, but suddenly it's a massive plasticine that you can then begin to work. Oh no, I'll move that, I'll move
and
that.
Keep going.
Yeah, you've got to keep going. Keep at it. Thomas Mann, the German writer, said, a writer is just an ordinary person who finds writing more difficult than most people. And that's the point. Writers understand how difficult it is, because having said writing all those words, it is very difficult to do. And it's boring in the sense that it takes a lot of time and that you will be sitting down for an enormous length, of hours sometimes. The time will pass and you'll keep writing and you'll keep writing and you'll sometimes lose faith with it. And you'll say to yourself, this is bloody hard. That's when you're a writer. Writers understand how hard it is and they work through it. But people who are not writers or haven't yet become writers think that if I'm a writer, I'll find it easy.
It'll just flow.
It'll flow. And if it's not flowing, it means I'm not a writer. That's nonsense. If it's not flowing, it means you've got to make it flow. You've got to keep at it. And sometimes, in my second novel, I got incredibly stuck halfway through. It was so frustrating because I really was stuck and I didn't know what to do about it. And at the time I was writing a diary. So in the diary, I decided to attack this problem. And I said, I am utterly miserable because, and so I was typing this diary, it was a type diary, it was in the computer, because I cannot solve this problem. I've got this character and he's doing this and I can't find anything for him to do because he's supposed to be like this and I can't make him do that. And there's this woman who's then supposed to influence him and I suppose I could do that, but that wouldn't work. And then there was, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. That's completely mad, but maybe that would work. So I was literally writing to myself about the writing. I was using writing to solve the writing problem. I was writing a journal. So that's another thing I would advise. If you get stuck, then write a diary entry about how you're stuck and how you can't solve it. Don't just think it or pace up and down and kick the skirting board and stare out the window and think, Write it. Use the very thing that books are made of, words, and that will help.
Yeah, it's awesome advice coming from you. And actually also talked about it earlier where if you're totally stuck, go and get some fresh air, but take it with you, churn it around, spin it around, get that.
Yeah, and speak out loud to the trees, tell the trees and tell the bushes, I can't fucking finish this book, it doesn't make sense.
So there's random dog walkers around the country that have seen Stephen Fry shouting at a tree and going, he's demented. And you're just basically working on creation.
Because it's difficult. And you speak to anyone, new writers, ask Richard Osman, ask him, it's so easy for him, he's written 3 books, they've all been huge bestsellers. Bollocks, he sits down there and he goes like this.
Point is, it's not easy.
Screaming with agony.
You got to work at it. Yeah.
And that's also, of course, what makes it so fantastic. And in that sense, it's like, watching, Tom Daley or one of the Olympians in the recent Olympic Games, is that what you're looking at is this astonishing ease and amazing facility to do something. But actually what you're really looking at is week after week after week. And you have Adam Peaty in his pool.
So true.
And then again the next day, and up at 5 a.m. to do it
Every day.
and every single day. But then you see this. Oh, he's so lucky he can do that. You know, I think it was Lee Trevino, the golfer, once said, "God, you're lucky to have a swing like that." He said, "Yeah, it's crazy. The more I practice, the luckier I get." And it is the awful secret is also the beautiful secret, which is that it's hard work. It's incredibly hard work, and that's the only way to solve it.
But if you know that.
But once you know that and accept it, it's actually beautiful, because it means there is no secret shortcut. There is no, cheat. It's all about that work. And then when you've done it, you feel like a prince. You feel amazing. It's an extraordinary thing.
Yeah.
And you hug yourself.
I'm marinating in your voice as well as listening to everything you're saying. Yeah, for an aspiring writer to hear that, that's just golden. Thank you.